the 49ers are definitely not boring, but I find them right now to almost be too relaxing. And it'll change. And I think there will be harder challenges. There will be adversity. That's the way football seasons work. And by the way, there's no criticism there. I don't know that I've experienced much like this in sports. A little bit here and there. You brought up the KD Warriors.
Yeah.
That's a good comp, although the difference there is until you get to the playoffs, NBA games don't really usually have that, like, okay, I'm all ramped up and we're going to invite people over and we're going to make food and we're going to like be at the edge of our seat. NFL games are unique that way. There's only 17 of them, and everybody gets all amped up, and you get your favorite clothes on and your favorite food and your favorite people, and you scream and yell and high five and lose your bananas on a Sunday. And Niner games are just like, yo, come on in. We're chilling here. There's not been one moment all year long where I have felt like the Niners might lose the game that they're playing.
Yeah, and it's
not one.
It's testimony to an unbelievable offense and a really, really good defense. And to have the discussion of which side of the ball is better is actually fun, because coming into the year, you looked at the defense and thought, this is a top 5, maybe a top 3 defense. And largely they've played to that level, and they haven't had to go out and get that one stop to get the ball back for Brock so that maybe they can rally up the team and get a victory. So it's been a little hard to judge this defense because of what you're talking about. You've had leads and you've had a certain amount of cushion. Not that they're playing with anything other than urgency, but we haven't had to see them, get that big stop and get the ball back for the offense.
I wonder this too. Is it possible that we need to adjust the entire way that we look at defense in the NFL? So let's go to the other competitors as they sit here right now for the trophy. There's
of best defense?
Well, or even just who's going to win the whole thing this year. There's probably, 7, 8, 9 teams that you could wrap your head around actually being a contender to win in the playoffs and win a Super Bowl this year. And if we look at all those teams, look, is the Niner defense perfect? It's not been perfect. It's been really good. How about the Eagles? Well, I would argue that the Eagles defense has been incredibly mediocre at best. You watch Washington come in, hang 31 on them, especially having to do it in a 2-minute drill situation and send that game to overtime. Remember what Minnesota did to them at the Link a few weeks ago? Scored 28 points, fumbling it 2-3 times in plus territory, including once at the 1 by Justin Jefferson. I think Kirk Cousins threw for over 400 yards in that game. New England is a really bad offense and rallied back in that game to make it close. Tampa Bay was held to 11. Philly was really good in that particular game. I'm not saying they're bad, but they certainly have not been impressive.
Right. I mean, Philly's undefeated, but it's because of their offense and their quarterback, who's having an MVP caliber year. If you look at the top defenses just on scoring, and I know that can be a little bit skewed based on opponents, and sometimes points are allowed by the offense, or the defense can score for the offense and whatnot. But Dallas is number 1. They're a very good defense. Buffalo's number 2, also very good. Then you get to Baltimore and the Niners tied. They've both allowed 58 total. Kansas City and Cleveland are next. They've allowed 60 total. Those are some nasty defenses. And Kansas City doesn't belong quite in that group, but their defense is certainly better.
They're solid. I guess that's what I mean. I don't think you need to be an elite defense to win a Super Bowl. I think you got to be good. Like right now, Miami to me is not really, really real until they get better, because they're just mediocre is almost kind. You're moving the ball up and down the field on them at will. They just have such a great offense. Go to last year's Super Bowl. Defense, optional. Chiefs and Eagles, everybody scored. Felt like on every possession. So, and I know those are the really good offenses. I just think you need to be good, and the Niners are definitely good. Dallas is definitely good. Same time, though, I personally am hitting the brakes on this. Dallas's defense is elite. They've had a lot of turnovers that have turned into direct points. Lot of pick sixes, fumble rumbles, kick blocks that have gone back. And so that's great, and you get credit for that. I think it also skews it a little bit, especially when you look at the 4 teams they've played. Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, Josh Dobbs, Mac Jones, and Dobbs, who I actually think is playing okay this year, well, he beat him by double digits.
Yeah.
He beat him. They scored 28 on him. So
they fared better against the Giants than the Niners did, and they faced a better Giants offense than the Niners did.
No Saquon.
Right. Both those games at home.
Although he got taken again, that thing was 14-0 based on special teams and whatnot before anything could even happen. But it's fair, yes. I just think, I guess the point being is there's more to go before these things really take shape. And Sunday night is absolutely step one in that for both of these teams. Both of these defenses, this is easily the best test that they are going to have faced yet.
And it's interesting to me because a lot of this comes down to matchups, and we always say that styles make fights, and I think this is one of those games. Dallas is number 2 in the league in passing yards allowed. Brock Purdy is coming off a 20-for-21 game, and he's never lost as a starter, and the Niners' passing offense with Brandon Ayuk has been incredible. Well, on the other side, you've got a Niner defense that is number 4 against the run. Dallas likes to beat you with the deep ball, but they also like to be able to grind you out, kind of like the Niners do in terms of time of possession and all that. So can Dallas get their ground game going against a great run defense? Can the Niners pass the ball against a very good pass defense?
I can't wait to see what Dallas looks like a month from now. Have you seen their next 4 games?
Oh, it's brutal. We talked about it last week, right?
If you just go by who you faced, if you're a defense, you're like, all right, who's the quarterback we faced? All right, Daniel Jones and Zach Wilson and Josh Dobbs and Mac Jones. Well, your next 4 games go like this: Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, Matt Stafford, Jalen Hurts. That's your next 4 games, Dallas. Got a bye week sandwiched in there as well.
Right.
So that's over the next 5 weeks. Those are the quarterbacks you're facing. If your defense is still top rated after that, okay, now you're cooking. Now you're cooking, and I get it. But you are going against some of the most efficient, talented, mobile, highest rated, turnovers down quarterbacks in the league over their next 4 games. So now's when it starts.
Yes.
Now's when it starts for all these teams.
Brock Purdy's a 73, according to Pro Football Focus. He's rated as a 73. He's 17th out of 34 quarterbacks.
Okay. What is that? That's based on what?
You'd have to talk to an expert at Pro Football Focus, but that's the official Brock Purdy number.
Damn.
He's a 73.0.
That's wild.
You'd mentioned it's Tua, Trevor Lawrence, and Jared Goff as your top 3, and then they just list them. They list them in a haphazard order. I tried to sort it, but I don't have the subscript. But you can click on each player and find out where they have them without any additional detail.
Well, I mean, again, that's all. This stuff is a mystery to everybody as far as how the analytics and numbers go. Quite frankly, quarterback rating is as well. I think you know it when you see it.
Yeah,
you're like, gosh, if you throw touchdowns and you don't turn it over and you have a good percentage, you're going to have a really good quarterback rating, and that's absolutely true. I don't even know what to do with that. I know that Brock Purdy is playing better than the 17th quarterback in the league. He's the highest rated QB in the league. He hasn't lost any football games. I'm not here to tell you he's the best guy out there. He's not. I mean, right now, just eye testing the NFL, watch Red Zone channel and tell me who pops off your TV and goes, oh my God. Like what? Like, geez. The plays that are coming from this guy. For me, so far this year, it's Josh Allen. These 4 games.
Oh, in terms of positive plays.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know, and that's with a bad game week 1.
Yep.
But if you watch him the last 3 weeks, it's insane.
They had him 5th here with an 81.5. He's your 5th highest rated QB according to your beloved PFF.
My beloved PFF.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you used it for Nick Bosa, so I'm just trying to weaponize it back at you.
It worked. It worked.
Now you're in a bad mood.
No, I'm not in a bad mood at all. I'll tell you this. I have that Superflex league.
Yep.
And my two QBs are Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff.
Okay.
And they're both excellent. But to say that they are the second and third best QBs in the league right now, I mean, that's going to be a no from me, dog. Like, they're good. They're very good. Goff is excellent at limiting turnovers, although he's had a couple of wonky ones this year for sure. Lawrence, I felt like had looked disappointing this year until 6:30 in the morning over the weekend.
Man, did you
get up and watch that one?
Coach, I have a baby.
You have a baby.
I got a 1-year-old baby. So she's up, I'm up, we're all up is how it works. And her little playroom is what should be the formal living room. But, you got a baby, so it becomes the playroom. So baby's in the playroom. Daddy's in the kitchen with eyes on the baby, but also eyes on the TV that's muted.
Yep.
65 inches.
Did you watch the Toy Story version of the game?
I didn't watch it, but I saw all this video on
hilarious
on the internet. It is pretty wild. And technologically, it's like, wow.
So they have the Toy Story characters actually making the plays and playing out the action?
The game appears to be in Andy's bedroom. Okay?
Gotcha.
And the players are like cartoons. They're like little toys, but it is live action happening. The movements are exactly like what's happening in the real game, is what it looks like.
Wow.
The funny thing was this. I saw this tweet from Sam Lubman over the weekend.
Lubs.
This is when you know you haven't had kids yet. Lubman goes, hey, this is a good idea, but it's still a little rough around the edges. Maybe the NFL could have waited a few weeks till you iron out the kinks and then do it then. And I'm like, Sam, little kids wake up at 6:30 in the morning. This is the perfect game to do it because it's at 6:30 in the morning. Parents are like, holy crap, find me some coffee. What can I do to put on the TV screen? And you've got Toy Story football on for your 5-year-old. You don't want to do that at 10 a.m. At 10 a.m., it's either their soccer game or, thank God, if you've found a play date.
Or Bloody Marys.
Or you've already sent them into the yard, or who knows what's going on. But yes, the NFL, when it comes to marketing and promotion, here's what I'll say. Don't ever question them.
Yeah.
They have thought out everything. There is a reason they debuted this for the game that starts at 6:30 in the morning. Judah's 9. He woke up with the hair that goes in every direction.
I love that.
Limps into the room, and first words, I'm like half awake. Hey, Dad, do we have ESPN Plus? First words out of his mouth. He doesn't say good morning. There's nothing. It's 6:29. Dad, do we have ESPN Plus? I'm like, just go. I already set it up for you. Go turn the computer. Turn it on.
Set it up for him.
I set it up for him the night before.
Good for you.
Yes. And shout out to those who helped. They know who they are.
Nice.
I'll leave it at that.
Perfect. Perfect. So he's all locked in, so he can watch the Toy Story version of his fantasy team.
I mean, and I love that stuff. The Nickelodeon games.
Yeah, the Splat game, whatever.
Listen, people are like, this is lame. It's not for you. It's not for you. Oh, the Toy Story game was stupid. It's not for you, you dummy. It's not for you. Put your kid in the playroom and turn the TV on and leave.
Did you guys see what they were using? They made the sticks, like the first down markers. They used Slinky Dog.
Oh, no,
Perfect.
Perfect. I missed that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
See what I mean? You're not beating the NFL in terms of marketing and promotion. You're not. Watch them. Watch them this Thursday. We'll sit here for the 800th week in a row. This Thursday night football stuff is junk. I can't believe they do this to these players. It should be about safety. 4 days ago, they were playing football. They are not ready. Now, where's the remote? I've got the Cardinals +3.
Totally.
I mean, it's the number 2 rated show in all of television. behind Sunday Night
Oh
Football.
boy! And this Thursday night game is
What
a
is it?
stinker. I'm not watching it.
Yes, you are.
Bears at Commanders.
Let's go! Come on,
man.
Justin Fields on one of my fantasy teams.
Sam Howell, R.I.P. No quarterback, rest in pass rush. No one's been sacked more than he's been sacked 24 times.
Yeah. They're an interesting squad.
Yeah,
they play. Have you just go through their box scores? They play bananas football games. They're crazy. I don't know if you've watched Commanders football games.
Not a ton.
They're
admittedly.
crazy, right? They went to overtime at least twice. You had the Hail Mary thing against the Broncos. You had the rally, 4th down touchdown, sends it to overtime in Philly. They had defensive scores and weird stuff happen in week 1 against Arizona. And I'm forgetting who their last game was against.
They beat Denver 35-33.
They got absolutely canned by the
Buffalo,
Bills.
yeah.
By the Bills, yeah. So forget that one. But the other 3 games, they're nuts, man. There's a lot of offense, not a lot of defense.
+4, +2, -34, -3,
right.
And they're 2-2. It's
fun for fantasy, though. A lot of numbers going on in their games.
And McLaurin is legit, and
McLaurin's good.
Sam Howell's not terrible, but the poor guy is just constantly under siege.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, jury way still out on him. First 4 games.
Sure.
A lot of guys. It's funny. The quarterback thing. We're always quick to judge. We know this fan base and the experience that everyone just had with Trey Lance. But the young quarterback thing, it really swings back and forth. I just know when you really, really don't see it and when you really, really do. Like Sam Howell, I'm even going to put Fields, especially after yesterday. I still think Justin Fields might be an interesting player if he had a coach who was not just nuts. Like, I don't even know what is that locker room, that whole franchise right now is a total bleep show.
Again.
So I still don't quite know what to do with Justin Fields. But, Sam Howell is one of them. Even Daniel Jones, where you're kind of like, not quite sure if I'm in or out on that guy. But there are a couple guys, my thoughts about Zach Wilson, Mac Jones. It's like, no, those guys can't play. You know who can? CJ Stroud.
Oh, he's legit.
It's been 4 games, and I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I am in. Holy smokes.
You're right, though, about the eye test. You watch him play, and you can see it. It's like, oh, this guy gets it. He's not unnerved. He's not rushed. He's out there making plays. He's throwing for 3 bills a game, and he's leading a bad franchise to wins.
And 0 interceptions.
Still, yeah.
Like usually when you're a rook, you come in, and it's like, oh, I see the arm talent. I see the pop throws. But, oops, I'm also going to make a mistake because the defense is playing tricks on me that I've never seen before. Not CJ. 0 interceptions in 4 games. By the way, they're in first place, too.
Yeah.
They're also in last. But put that aside for a second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this kid is something.
And according to Pro Football Focus.
Yes. Well ahead of Brock Purdy, I imagine.
Not well ahead. Don't steal the punchline, but ahead of Brock Purdy, your guys at PFF.
Statistically, you can make that case.
He's a 73.3 to Brock Purdy's 73.
Listen. Here's what I value more so than anything else when it comes to quarterbacking, and this is why I have felt the way that I do about Brock Purdy all along. I've never tried to make the case to you that he was the best QB in football. I've never tried to make the case to you that I would pick him if I had my pick of the litter. Here's the case I will make. I don't like it when people say that it's not a talent to A, not turn the ball over, and B, complete most of your passes. His completion percentage is crazy. And yesterday, it was record-breaking. What's he got this year? 72+% is his overall completion percentage?
About right.
That's unbelievable. And when you can complete at that rate and you have one of the top yards per attempt in the league and you have 0 interceptions, I'm sorry, that's a gift. So when people go, oh, where's the arm talent? To me, that is arm talent. I don't care if you can throw it 70 yards. Jamarcus Russell can throw it 70 yards. What does that get you? it doesn't get you anything. So that's the only point I've tried to make about Brock.
Sure.
And if he's completing 73% of his passes, I don't know how 73 is also his PFF number.
72.3. He's third in the league in completion percentage, but on behalf of Alan Stiles and many other people, must be nice having Christian McCaffrey on your team.
It must be nice. It must be.
Josh Allen is first at 74.8.
Dude, that's what
Lamar
I'm saying.
Jackson, 74.3. Look at Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, look, those are...
And then it's Brock, and then Tua and Dak, and then Justin Herbert and Josh Dobbs, all above 70%.
Yeah. By the way, and tucked into that, and I feel like we've done this about 3 or 4 times, do not dismiss this 19-point win yesterday. Oh, the defense didn't look quite right against Arizona. That's Arizona. No. Arizona, by any metric you want to look at this year, is not the bottom barrel of the league like we thought they were.
At all.
They're not even close.
The NFC West is better than we thought it was going to be after 4 games.
That's a great point.
I mean, if you look around the NFL, you could find 6 teams that stink, and Arizona and the Rams and Seattle aren't among that group.
Totally. Rams ruined a huge parlay that I had yesterday.
That's a shame.
5-pick. 5-pick.
5-bagger.
5-pick.
Okay.
Colts had to be to pick them. That's it.
Pick them.
But Puka Nakua, so.
Come on. I mean, my Bills Dolphins under 99 look good. That's the only text I sent yesterday. Because I'm watching that thing going back and forth. I'm going, I didn't even look up. I think I had it at 53 and a half.
I think it was 54 and a half. I'll give you
That's
another one.
That's what the score was at halftime.
Yeah, Bills almost covered it themselves.
Oh, my God. What a joke.
No,
I'm cold.
Listen, for anybody who wants to do the Niners are the best team in football thing, because they're 4-0, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, it's a subjective statement, but the way the Buffalo Bills look right now on both sides of the ball, if you're just like, you're playing eye test stuff, look, they're 3-1. They're not 4-0, so they don't get the title. But, man, they look so dynamic. The 49ers look more steady. The Bills look more dynamic. That's the way I would say it.